recites the book of Allah. When the Sahaba and the Salaf used to say, Qurra, Qari, reciters, they didn't mean a guy with a pretty voice on Instagram who recites but doesn't know the difference between what? An alim, a scholar of the Quran. That's what they meant. They meant an alim, a scholar of the Quran. He said, إِنَّهُ قَارِئٌ لِكِتَابِ اللَّهِ. He's a man who is knowledgeable of the book of Allah Azza wa Jal. Is that it? وَإِنَّهُ عَالِمٌ بِالْفَرَائِضِ. And he is a scholar when it comes to the laws of inheritance. What does that show you? Inheritance is not an easy topic. Right? And it's in the Quran. Surah An-Nisa. Right? Inheritance. He's trying to show him, not only is he a qari, he's a faqih, he knows fiqh, he can rule and judge between the people. And inheritance is something people go to war, people spill blood over this stuff. He knows this. I've left a man who is knowledgeable of the Quran and the laws within the Quran and the Sunnah. I left him in charge. Okay, now Umar radiallahu anh is what? He's relaxed because this man is special. He understood, Umar understood, because of this man's knowledge of the Quran, everyone else respects him. Guys, have you not seen? Let me draw a comparison for you. Wallahi, brothers, to be honest, I should be sitting on the floor with you guys because that would have been from manners. I'm not different to any one of you, right? But when a sheikh comes and he sits on a, and I'm not a sheikh, I'm not talking about myself. He comes, he sits on a table, and we all sit on the floor. He could be a person from a very poor background, from a lineage that is low, from a tribe that is not respected. But we will all be quiet. Na'am, Sheikh. Humility would come from far. We'd leave our homes, our families, our wives, and our children. We'd close our shop early. I want to come and sit in front of this man. Why? Because of the money that he has? No. His lineage, respect, honor. Because of the knowledge that he's conveyed. So Umar understood this man must be really knowledgeable, that he's put in charge of Mecca. Everyone else is just going to listen to him, take his knowledge. And then Umar mentioned the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, "Inna nabiyyakum qad qal." He said, certainly your Prophet, he said, "Inna Allah yarfa'u bihadha al-kitabi aqwaman wa yad'u bihi akharin." It's through this book that Allah will raise a group of people. And it is through this book Allah will belittle and lower and humiliate another group of people. It's through this book that Allah Azza wa Jalla will raise some. And it's through this book that Allah will humiliate and belittle others. This Quran. We took this fa'idah on Thursday in Dar al-Salam Masjid. We are going through lessons from Surah Al-Ahqaf. How does the surah start? Does anyone know? Hamim. تنزيل الكتاب من الله العزيز الحكيم. This Quran, Allah said it came down min Allah, from Allah al-Aziz al-Hakim. Allah mentioned three names. Allah, the one who is worshipped alone. Al-Aziz, what does that mean? What does it mean? Mighty, but what does that mean? What does it mean when we say mighty? If I say subhanallah, you say it means to exalt Allah. What does exalt mean? I don't know English, I don't know about you. You don't hear me Charles Dickens and say, oh, huh? You guys, you're doing it, that's what it means. Huh? It means الذي هو غالب على أمره, the one who whatever he wants will happen. You know, someone's so mighty that no one can get in the way of what he wants to do. I say, whatever he wants to do will take place. So then pay attention. Allah said, Tanzilul Kitab. This Quran came down min Allah, from Allah. Al-Aziz, the mighty. Why? Why did Allah mention this name? You know why? Because there's an indication in this that if you take this Quran that's come down, you will have some of that might as well. Allah mentioned the name of Allah, which is relevant to the book. Yani, بهذا الكتاب ستعلو على أقواما. It's with this book you will overcome people. And they will become مقهورين. They will become subjugated under the believers. And the believers will be غالبون. They will be above them, victorious. They will never be belittled and humiliated. The one who has the Quran will always be on top. How does that surah end? بلاغ. فهل يهلك إلا هم فاسقون. Balagh, you have been notified and warned, Allah says. And will anyone be destroyed except those who disobey Allah? I.e. the surah is indicating from the beginning and the end, if you take this Quran and follow it, you'll be aziz on it, respected, mighty, strong. And if you turn against the Quran and you turn your back on the Quran, you'll be humiliated, belittled, subjugated, destroyed. Like this hadith when the Prophet ﷺ said, he said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَرْفَعُ بِهَذَا الْكِتَابِ أَقْوَامًا وَيَدَعُ بِهِ آخَرِينَ. Through this Quran, Allah will raise people. And through this Quran, He will belittle them. He will raise you, you'll be respected. He will raise you, you won't be defeated. You'll be honored, you'll be successful in this life and what? The next. We'll take some benefits from the hadith, inshallah ta'ala. So who are these people that Allah is lifting with the Quran? Someone who has a Quran on his top shelf and it gathers dust? Someone who has a Quran app on his phone but he never reads? Or maybe someone who walks around with Ayatul Kursi on his necklace. Doesn't realize he's imitating women. Because women wear necklaces. In this day and age where people are confused. It's not a day for you to wear necklaces. If I see a brother wearing a necklace now, I'm confused. No. What's he on? If I see a brother wearing these, I'm Are you with that group now? The multicolored. You know what I mean? I get confused. You want to know that you're straight. You know you're a straight shooter now. No necklaces, no. Yeah? No bracelets. And other stuff that could be imitated women. So, no. Who are these people? أقوام هم الحافظون له. They're the ones who memorize the Quran. The people that Allah lifts with the Quran are the ones who memorize the Quran. They do hifz of the Quran. They say, we're going to finish the book of Allah, we're going to memorize it beginning to end. Also, وَالْعَامِلُونَ بِهِ, they implement it. Oh, this is big. You can't memorize the Quran and not follow it. You can't say, I know this ayah, but I'm not going to follow it. I'm going to disobey the ayah when it comes. No, you memorize it and you implement it. You live in accordance to it. فَيَرْفَعُ جَمَاعَاتٍ كَثِيرَاتٍ فِي الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ بأن يحييهم حياة طيبة في الدنيا ويجعلهم في الذين أنعم الله عليهم في العقبى. These are the ones that Allah will raise and will live a good life. A life of happiness, peace and joy in this world and also in the next. And there's an ayah like this in the Quran where Allah says, لَقَدْ أَنزَلْنَا إِلَيْكُمْ كِتَابًا, we have sent down to you a book. فِيهِ ذِكْرُكُمْ, you are mentioned in it. In it is your mention. فِيهِ ذِكْرُكُمْ. What does that mean? In it is your mention. فِيهِ شَرَفُكُمْ. In it is your honor. Your honor is connected to this. Guys, many of us, when we come to read the Quran, we find that we get bored. We can't even read a page or two. But when it comes to listening to music, what happens? What happens? We can listen for hours, movies, hours. But a lesson, a lecture, half an hour becomes too long. We start getting frustrated. It's hot. I'm uncomfortable. But if a movie was playing, you wouldn't care. Allah said, وَيْلٌ لِلْقَاسِيَةِ قُلُوبُهُمْ Woe to them, their hearts became hard from the remembrance and the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Their hearts became hard. They became distracted and started showing what was on their phone to their friends. Perhaps we don't want to be from those people. When the Quran is being mentioned or spoken about, we focus. We focus. When the Quran is being mentioned, it's being spoken about, we focus. We don't get distracted. If we get distracted, it's a problem. Right? The hypocrites, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to them, when a surah comes down, نَظَرَ بَعْضُمْ إِلَى بَعْضٍ. They look at each other. هَلْ يَرَى مِنْ أَحَدٍ. Has anyone seen? Has anyone seen? Can anyone see us? Then they just slip out on the slide. When the Quran comes down, they just wait. Anyone looking? No one's looking? Then just step in. That's what happens to them. Why? Because their hearts became hard. Because of the music they were listening to, the girls that they were talking to, the movies that they were always watching. Sins, brothers. Makes it hard for us to focus on the Quran. In Taraweeh, we get distracted. But then the guy whose heart is pure can stand for hours. Bisuhula, with ease. With ease. If you're struggling to memorize the Quran and read it and implement it, what happens is, this is a sign because of sins that are being done, and the heart is getting tainted. When in essence, this Quran, it has your honor. فِيهِ ذِكْرُكُمْ يَا إِخْوَ. You be honored, raised. A day has come where the blood of Muslims is cheaper than oil. The blood of Muslims is cheaper than oil. They invaded Iraq for oil, and they spilled the blood of 120,000 innocent Muslims. They called it collateral damage. We're not even talking about armies that they were fighting in Iraq. They spilled the blood of 120,000 Muslims. The blood of the Muslims is cheaper than oil. They've been humiliated. Look at what happened with the Ukraine war. A war happens, the whole world, Ukraine, show you love, send you this, send you that. Right? Send you all of these things. I landed right now. The war's been going for over here. I landed right now Heathrow Airport, and there's a banner that says, if anyone has experienced war crimes from Russia, from Ukraine, please let us know, we'll help you. What happened to our Palestinian brothers and sisters? We don't care. Because the Muslims are expendable. The Muslims' reality of the matter is have been humiliated. Because of what? We left the Quran. And we're being humiliated even here in this country. We keep trying to copy the kuffar. We keep trying to be like them. Dress up like them. Support their teams. Their country. We want to be like them. And they don't accept us. They can say, hey, listen. You Islamic. They say, we thought we done what? Brexit and got rid of you. They didn't realize that most of the Muslim countries are not in Europe. One of the propaganda that they did for Brexit to happen was that they said it would stop refugees from coming in. And it was at a time when Syrian refugees were coming in. So people who were dumb started thinking that, we're going to stop Syrian refugees from coming in if we get out of Brexit. And there was actually a news report that actually went around interviewing a bunch of people saying, what are you doing? Why are you voting for Brexit? Oh, to stop the Syrian refugees. And the guy was like, Syria is not in Europe. Dim-witted people were like, but they have humiliated us. And we're humiliated, following them, wanting to be like them. They don't accept us. They don't want to be like us. They don't want to be like you. They don't accept you. No. But this Quran, it calls you, come. فِيهِ ذِكْرُكُمْ. In it is your honor. In it is your sharaf. You'll be lifted, you'll be raised, and you'll be honored. Another ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, فَاسْتَمْسِكْ بِالَّذِي أُوحِيَ إِلَيْكَ إِنَّكَ عَلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ وَإِنَّهُ لَذِكْرٌ لَكَ وَلِقَوْمِكَ وَسَوْفَ تُسْأَلُونَ. And it goes on. So you'll be honored if you take this Quran. وَيَدَعُ بِهِ آخَرِينَ. You'll be belittled and you'll be put down if you turn away from the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يُضِلُّ بِهِ كَثِيرًا. We misguide many people with the Quran. وَيَهْدِي بِهِ كَثِيرًا. And we guide many people with the Quran. What does it mean we misguide them with the Quran? It means a person whose heart is filthy, he comes to the Quran, he gets arrogant. No, I'm not accepting it. No, I'm not going to take it. Does that make sense? Don't be that guy. Be that guy when he comes to the Quran, he's guided. Allah said, وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ مَا هُوَ شِفَاءٌ وَرَحْمَةٌ لِلْمُؤْمِنِ وَلَا يَزِيدُ الظَّالِمِينَ إِلَّا خَسَارًا. Pay attention to this ayah. It's very important, guys. We will pray Taraweeh here, right? We will read the Quran in Ramadan, right? And we will pray 5 times a day. And in every salah, do we not read Fatiha? Nah, look at this Quran. Look at this ayah. Allah said, وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ مَا هُوَ شِفَاءٌ وَرَحْمَةٌ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. We sent down this Quran. In it is a mercy for the believers. Mercy, mercy. With mercy, you go to Jannah. With mercy, you'll be forgiven your sins. With mercy, you'll be rewarded for the khair that you did. Right? With mercy, you'll be able to do khair. We all need mercy from Allah Azza wa Jal. Rahmah. Allah said, وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ مَا هُوَ شِفَاءٌ. We send down with this Quran shifa wa rahmah. And what? And what? Mercy. For whom? لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. For the believers only. It's only for the believers. The believers, when they read the Quran, Allah gives them mercy. The iman increases. What? They benefit. They become better. Every time they come to the Quran, they become better. Then Allah said, وَلَا يَزِيدُ الظَّالِمِينَ إِلَّا خَسَارًا. The wrongdoers, the evil people, the criminals. The Quran, it will be a reason for them to be increased in loss. So there are two types of people that come to the Quran. Believers who come to the Quran, and when they come to the Quran, they get better. The opposite of loss. They increase, they profit. They become better people. They benefit. Every time they read the Quran, they are better than they were last. The evil people, they come to the Quran, and every time they come into the Quran, they are worse. So which type of person are you? Are you a person who comes to the Taraweeh prayer, and after the Salah, he goes and does another good deed? Or are you a person who comes to Taraweeh, listens to the Quran, and as soon as you finish, you go and message your girlfriend? Are you one who was better after the Quran was read on you, or when you read it? Or are you worse after the Quran was read on you and you read it? وَكَيْفَ تَكْفُرُونَ وَأَنْتُمْ تُتْلَى عَلَيْكُمْ. How do you disbelieve and reject when the Quran is being recited on you? You're being told. You read the Quran and think, let me now go and be good to my parents. So as soon as you finish the Salah, the Quran, the Taraweeh, you disrespect your parents. After the Quran, do you speak words of khair? Or after the Quran, do you backbite? It's a problem. Because this Quran is either hujjatun laka wa alayk. This Quran is either going to be a proof for you on the Day of Judgment, or a proof against you. يُضِلُّ بِهِ كَثِيرًا وَيَهْدِي بِهِ كَثِيرًا. Many people come to the Quran, as a result they destroy it. People come to the Quran, as a result they are on it. يَرْفَعِ اللَّهُ بِهِ أَقْوَامًا وَيَضَعُ بِهِ آخَرِينَ. With this Quran, Allah lifts certain people, the ones who benefit from it and become better. With this Quran, Allah Azza wa Jal belittles certain people and drops them and humiliates them because they reject it. So when you read the Quran, every time there is an effect on your heart. Either Iman goes up or it goes down. One of the two. No third option. And we all read the Quran in one way or another, in Salah, in Taraweeh, or when we read from the Mus'haf. Are we better or worse? The people who Allah is going to destroy, when they read the Quran, they're worse. The people Allah wants to benefit and take them into what? What? Jannah. They are what, my brothers, after the Quran? They are what? They're better. They are better. Guys, there's an ayah in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, يَرْفَعِ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ. The believers who have Iman, amongst all of mankind, Allah lifts them high. So here's mankind, low. The default of mankind is low. إِنَّهُ كَانَ ظَلُومًا جَهُولًا. The default for every human is what? Is ignorant and oppressive. That's how human beings start off. Then there's a group from the believers that are not, mankind, that are not low. They are lifted high. يَرْفَعِ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنكُمْ. The ones who have iman, the believers. From amongst the believers, وَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ دَرَجَاتٍ. There are those that are lifted to the highest, not level, levels. How many levels? Allahu A'lam. Could be many levels. أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ دَرَجَاتٍ. Levels, high. They're the ones who have knowledge. Knowledge of the Quran. They don't just read it. Ibn Abza, the man who was a slave, he didn't just read the Quran. إِنَّهُ قَارِئٌ لِكِتَابِ اللَّهِ وَعَالِمٌ بِالْفَرَائِضِ. He was knowledgeable of the rulings inside of the Quran as well. So when you have knowledge of the Quran, what happens to you, akhi? You'll be lifted. فَيَرْفِعِ اللَّهُ بِهِ أَقْوَامٍ فِي جَنَّاتِ النَّعِيمِ. These are levels in Jannah. You'll have levels in this life, respected, and the next life you go up levels. And it will be said to Iqra, Warattil, recite, Was'ad, and go up. And as you're reciting the Quran, you will carry on going up based on what you've memorized in Jannah. And the level that you will stop is Jannah. So imagine everyone's in Jannah now. And we're told, Iqra, Warattil, Was'ad. Recite and go up. And everyone starts reciting. Imagine the guy who's memorized Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar fasalli li rabbika wanhar inna shani'aka huwal abtar. Beautiful surah, great surah. But then what's going to happen? He's just here. Okay, now the guy who memorized Juz Amma yatasa'alun 'anil naba'il 'azim. He's going to go up. But he didn't memorize more than that. He stops. What about the one who memorized Al-Baqarah? Recite. Alif Lam Mim Dhalika al-Kitabu La Rayba Fi. It's going to be a minute. It's going to go up. By the way, the levels you go higher, Jannah is better. Your wife is more beautiful. The rivers of honey are tastier and milk and the water, and the palaces are more beautiful. And you get to see Allah and meet Him. The ones who are higher will get to see Allah more. The Prophet is at the highest level. Right? So imagine you're that guy that just, I came to the lecture as well, I listened, I didn't fix my relationship with the Quran, and you just, all your friends just going up. You see you can't see his wife, but you know he's got a serious wife up there. You're good, you got a nice, beautiful Jannah wife, but it's like, bro, I'm on this level. I wonder what they're doing up there. Guys, wallahi, it's ajr in this. And in this life, like I said, you'll be honored, you'll be respected wherever you go. Now, you'll be honored and respected wherever you go. Some benefits we take from this hadith, we'll summarize them. Number one, the Quran will lift you and take you to places that your lineage may not be able to take you. You come from, for example, maybe many people are from Bangladesh. So I'm sure there's places in Bangladesh, villages, areas where some people might look down on other people, which is wrong to do. But you might see these are people that are lower class. But now, imagine an alim is from those people. It doesn't matter. This man is an alim. They're not worried about what? Where he's from or his lineage. Knowledge in the Quran will take you to places that your lineage and your wealth may not be able to take you. Maybe you're not a rich person. Maybe you're not the most beautiful person. Maybe you're not the most good-looking person. Okay? But the Quran will bring people to you. And you don't recite the Quran for this objective. You recite the Quran for the sake of Allah, but it will come. It will come. Does that make sense? We'll finish off inshallah ta'ala by mentioning وكم من موالي رفعهم الإسلام بالقرآن والعلم فوق أولو الحسب والنسب والجاه. How many slaves are there that were once slaves and Islam honored them and raised them above people that had lineage and above people that had what? Honor and money and respect. Have you guys heard of Al-Hasan al-Basri? He's one of the greatest imams from the Salaf al-Salih. He was what? A slave. Nafi' Mawla ibn Umar. Nafi', one of the greatest muhaddithin and scholars of hadith. Slave. Ata ibn Abi Rabah. He was the mufti of Mecca from East Africa. And what? He was disabled, blind, used to be a slave, but the whole world, rulers, leaders would come and sit at his feet to learn from him. وَكَمْ مِنْ ذِي الْحَسَبِ وَالْجَاهِ الْقَدِيمِ صاروا في الدرك الأسفل من النار لعنادهم كتاب الله أو كتاب الله. And how many people who have great honor, rich, big people, are going to be in the lowest part of the hellfire because they were hard-headed when it came to the book of Allah. And we mention a poetry, عليك بتقوى الله كل حالة ولا تترك التقوى اتكالا على النسب. Upon you is to fear Allah in every situation. And don't leave off the fear of Allah and then rely upon your status, your followers on social media, your reputation, your looks, your beauty, your wealth. فقد رفع الإسلام سلمان فارس وقد وضع الكفر الشريف أبا لهب. Islam lifted a man called Salman al-Farisi, who was a slave in Medina, originating from Persia. Lifted him. And Abu Lahab, who was one of the leaders of Quraysh, because of his kufr, Islam destroyed him and belittled him. One of the Prophet's family members. So what it comes down to is what? It's taqwa, your heart, the Quran that's in it, and the Quran that you implement in your tongues. With that said, Subhanak Allahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Guys, before iftar time, I just wanted to mention Al-Furqan, the organization who has arranged this for you. May Allah Azza wa Jal bless them and honor them. And I understand that our brother has been very generous giving this place for the brothers to use this month in Ramadan to do khair. Guys, khair cannot be done by any one individual on their own. Good. This work, da'wah, running a masjid, can't be done by any one person. It can't even be done by a group. It has to be a whole team here. I'll give you an example. I'm one guy. I came and gave this talk. Did you benefit if you did from, not me, but the words of the Prophet ﷺ? If you benefit, put your hands up. You benefited, yes? May Allah bless you all. Do you feel like this might have impact in your life moving forward now? Do you feel like you might be different after this hadith you heard? If you did, put your hand up. Look at that. If this is life changing, will you benefit in what you learn? Then this kind of stuff is obviously important. Now, me coming and giving you this talk, how could I have done it if it wasn't for the brothers, or if there are any sisters at Al-Furqan who arranged it? You guys understand the point I'm making? If Al-Furqan as an organization didn't exist in St. Albans, then there would be no place for me to come and sit and give this talk. You guys understand? Good. So everyone has to play a role. Because eventually it gets to a point where we need everyone to play some type of role. We've got brothers that are volunteering outside. May Allah bless them. You've got parents. Who had a parent here that said, go to the talk. Shout out to your parents. You guys. How's it done? Good, yeah, mashallah. Shout out to all your parents. Everyone plays a role in making this happen. It also has to be those who participate in terms of the finances. It has to happen. Guys, this deen, it requires two people to stand up for it. A person who has knowledge and he's generous with it. To teach the people. He's generous with his time. And he will come and teach. And a person who's generous with his wealth. And will give his wealth so that this knowledge can be taught. How many masajid have we built? But the walls are nice and beautiful. But this floor place is empty. It's like Shaitan makes us sometimes donate to projects that don't even bring much fruit. But then you sometimes have a small group of brothers that have been doing khair, and they produce more than maybe 5-6 masajid put together. But because they're not a big organization, maybe someone may not give to them. And this story of my life, that we did, there were certain organizations I knew, they were being given £20,000 donations a month by one donor. One guy. And wallahi, they would not produce even a quarter of what our brothers would produce, and we wouldn't even receive £1,000 donations a month. Because people usually like to connect with people where they feel like maybe there's a networking opportunity, or maybe this guy's, if I donate to him, he's going to do something for me. But guys, the projects you should focus on are the ones that are producing khair and doing results according to the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. In this month in Ramadan, I would like to ask you on behalf of the brothers to be generous with your donations, to give. They have a project, not just here in St. Albans, but also a project that reaches the world. They have an online academy where they get teachers and students of knowledge to teach lessons to people outside of even St. Albans. Some of you might be thinking, well, I didn't get an opportunity to go seek knowledge and teach and give da'wah. By funding the da'wah to take place, you can reach the reward that people would find where? In a country that you may not even have ever even heard of. But on the day of judgment, you see the ajr in front of your eyes. They need to raise £6,000 in this month of Ramadan. We can be generous today and give as much as we can. How can we take donations in? Pardon? On the way out. So there'll be buckets, there'll be card machines. Apple Pay? Pardon? Okay. So for all you techies, 21st century lads, not Apple Pay just yet. But what I please, brothers, give. Even there's Apple Pay. Oh, there is Apple Pay. Lovely. MashaAllah. Guys, even if only you can give £1, give. And remember, charity doesn't ever take away from your wealth. Charity never, ever, ever takes away from your wealth. You'll only be given more. Yeah? I think, inshallah, Luton's not far from you guys, right? So next week, Saturday, I have a talk in Luton. It's next week, right? So who's going to come? Well, it's going to be from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. We're going through Surah Al-Fatiha. When you pray your salah, this is the most important surah in the whole Quran. If we talk about the Quran, you need to now take steps to implement it. You can't just be like, oh, wait, I heard this. What do I do? First thing is we work on Surah Al-Fatiha. You've got to master that. Recitation-wise, and you've got to master in terms of the meanings. So when you pray your salah, the most important surah, you can connect with Allah Azza wa Jal in it 5 times a day. So put your hands up, inshallah, if you're going to come to Surah Al-Fatiha. Put your hands up. 1:30 p.m. sorry. Till 4, right? There'll be a break in the middle. Don't worry, I'll take it easy on you guys. Put your hands up, inshallah. Hi, I want to see it high. MashaAllah. Everyone else up in their hands up? I'm going to get the commitment out of you guys one way or another. MashaAllah, I like that hand. Throw it high, bro. You're going to come, yeah? MashaAllah. Everyone else, you're thinking about it. Inshallah, we ask Allah to open the door for you. If not, I'm assuming you're already doing something better. Inshallah. Barakallahu feekum. جزاكم الله خيرا سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك اشهد ان لا اله الا انت